My name is Het Bhatt. I come from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I appeared for CAT 2022 and my overall percentile was 98.40. And currently I am pursuing my first year MBA at IIM Bodh Gaya.
As you also have work experience, please please tell us how you manage the time during the preparation phase.
So I used to have 6 working days a week. So during my working days, I tried to chunk out at least 3 hours on a daily basis. I used to spend 2 hours in the morning solving the VARC and DLR sets on alternative days. And after the completion of my working hours, I used to spend an hour daily for quant straight for 6 days. And on Sundays, I spent my time on revising the concepts, working upon my weak areas, and sitting for mocks and analyzing the mocks.
How important is taking mock tests and how many did you take during your preparation?
So sitting for mocks is a very important part of the CAT preparation. Apart from learning new concepts, shortcuts and applications of the concepts you have already learned, the individual also builds a habit for sitting straight for 2 hours in the exam. And trust me, if you are just able to sit for 2 hours straight, then with about 80% of the efficiency, then 30% of the battle is done for the D-Day. And as far as the number of mocks are concerned, I would suggest an individual to take at least 25 mocks and the maximum can be 35 to 40 mocks.
CAT has a strict time limit for each section. How did you manage your time effectively during the exam and how did you decide which questions to attempt first?
Okay. So as far as the attempt strategy is concerned, an individual would have to make his or her own strategy based on the strengths and weakness of the particular areas. And this is one more important thing an individual would be able to identify after practicing the sufficient amount of mocks. And as far as the question selection strategy is concerned, so for VRC I went with the rule of 30-10, which is 30 minutes for the RCs and 10 minutes for the verbal ability part. So while skimming through the RCs, I would suggest an individual to go through the questions also while skimming through the content of the RCs, because at times there are, after giving the sufficient marks, an individual will be able to identify the difficulty of the questions also, which is in some questions the options might be too close or the options might be confusing, and subsequently along with gauging the content of the RC, an individual will be able to gauge the difficulty level of the whole passage. And then after, for the verbal ability, the individual would be an aspirant should attempt on the basis of his or her strengths or weaknesses. For DILR section, I used to spend about 4 to 5 minutes skimming through the whole question paper, and I used to pick out three sets and number them on the basis of their difficulty level. I used to solve the first 2 sets completely, and if there is sufficient time left, I would pick out a couple of easy questions from the third set and would attempt those. And for the quant section, I followed a simple strategy of attempting minimum 3 questions per 10 minutes. And for quant section, I followed a very simple strategy of attempting minimum 3 questions per 10 minutes, irrespective of the topic, as quants was my strong area.
What are some general tips for maintaining focus and staying calm during a high pressure exam like CAT?
So in order to stay calm, I would suggest an individual again to give the sufficient number of mocks. And in order to stay calm, one should attempt at least 3 mocks by going out of the comfort zone. One can do so by changing the premises or the setting of given the exams. And in order to tackle the surprises during the CAT exam, I would suggest an individual to attempt at least 5 to 10 mocks from different institutes, which would regularly test your patience and focus and prepare you for the D-Day and any surprises on the D-Day during the CAT exam. The surprises can be in any of the sections as you have gone through the previous year patterns of the CAT. So it could be VRC, DLR or quants. So by appearing for the material of the different institutes and mock test of the different institutes, you can build your habit to tackle the surprises efficiently and stay calm during the exam.
If you could give one piece of advice to CAT aspirants and any additional tips and tricks or insights you would like to share with them.
So, although it's a cliche answer, but consistency is a key. If an individual is able to identify the strengths, work upon the weakness, and calmly attempt about 80% of the paper with 70 to 80% of the efficiency, an individual would easily score about 50% of the maximum CAT score. And that's all what is needed for the good CAT percentile. All the best to the CAT 2023 aspirants.